Welcome to the Rockhound Podcast. We have some special guests today. So, Seajay and Denny, if you want to get things started off.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
Seajay.
And I'm Denny, and together we are
Agate Enchantment.
and Rock Wizardry. That's right, you got us. We're here in the house.
We're in the house.
Welcome.
That's amazing. I wish I could do that with myself, you know? I'm just Karen Britt. I'm Ozone Fine Art
you're
Adventures.
Ozone.
Yeah.
You're
Fine
Ozone.
art.
That's the best I can do. All right, Kurt.
I can talk now. I'm Kurt with Rock.Hounding.Adventures.
And I'm Kyle with World of Rockhounds.
There we go. There's the voice.
Someone has to do the low tone. All right. So, how was everyone's week?
Busy. Very busy.
Oh yeah.
Busy.
We are developing a new baby who has colic. A lot of colic.
We're too old to have children, okay? So this has to do with Rockhound, okay?
We are developing a Rock.Hounding e-com store. And yeah, he is. I'm the advertising. Unfortunately, the baby has had colic and has needed to be burped, and the pants need to be changed. And we're just too old for this.
It's a big challenge. I don't know if you guys have ever developed a website, a store, in fact.
Well, there's the one that has.
Really challenging. Yeah.
But unfortunately, when we downloaded a couple of products to the store, we
malware.
We kind of got extra presents, so it went back under construction.
Yep.
That sucks.
Sorry to hear that.
Putting the baby into some health here, or is it looking pretty good now? Or on this way up?
No, it still has dirty pants.
So to change gears on something more fun and positive this week, we worked on a joint video.
Yes, we did.
With Karen
Britt,
awesome person from Ozone Fine Art Adventures, that we got to spend some time on the beach with her. And so we put a video together, and she put a video together,
and we are going to be releasing
lots of fun. And Lily's in. Did I say Lily was in? Yes, Lily's in it too.
Lily approves almost every find.
Yeah, it's amazing. She did.
She did. She approved of every find.
Talk about colicky babies, right?
But the finds we found were super.
Oh my God,
so
they were
please,
stellar.
Join us Sunday for the live premiere at 9 a.m. on our channel.
Yes.
Okay.
Speaking of that video, I showed my kids that bone that you.
Oh yeah, that bone.
That
Remember
you gave
that,
me.
Karen?
Oh
yeah.
The vertebra.
I remember every bone. Yeah, I'm like Lily.
The vertebra that you found on the beach and you gave to me, I took it and I showed it to my kids today, and one of my kids said, "How old is it?" And I said, "It's about 15 to 20 million years old." And he was like, "Wow, that's like really old, like you."
Oh.
You need some aloe vera for that burn.
Yeah. And I said, "Well, when you get as old as me, you'll know just as many things as me." And he goes, "So I'll be super smart." And I'm like, "Good answer."
So there's our week. What about you?
Yeah, how about your weeks?
Well, I actually, of course, have been working on that video too, but I got back down to the beach because you'll see from CJ and Denny's video that the offerings on that beach were really good. And the way that I stay under my 1 gallon limit and 3 gallons a year on the beach is by giving my stones away to the people that I bring to the beach, like those guys.
Wow.
Oh, that's why she was doing that.
Cool.
And so I had a really good day down at the beach, and I actually came across a family that had their vehicle broken into. And so I'm going to just insert a really quick PSA right now that sure enough, vehicles are getting broken into on the coast. So take your possessions with you that are important and lock it up, and don't park parallel to the beach. Park perpendicular so that people on the highway can see both sides of your car.
Yeah.
Because it was the beachside window that nobody could see that got broken into. And so, it was a great week for that. And I also didn't kill any opals.
Yay!
It was a good week for me. How about you, Kurt?
It was a busy week. I've been doing a lot of videos for TikTok as well, trying to get videos prepared for my next video for next Monday, which is I think I'm gonna start doing a new tumbling series, and which is kind of featuring multiple different channels that from rock trades that I've received. I'm gonna do I guess all of the material I'm using is agate. Agates from currently rock hounding, rogue rock hounding, world rock hounding, Manistee Rocks, and a few other channels, gravel bar hopper, and so that's gonna be pretty cool to start. And I'm going to definitely make sure I do the first cycle for at least 2 weeks, not a week, because didn't turn out so great last time. So.
Are you pre-shaping any of those? Or are you just dumping them in?
Let's see, what did I do? I cut little slabs out of the larger ones, and just made probably inch and a half by a quarter to half inch thick, out of some of gravel bar hoppers and some of Andrews, and so forth. So depending on the size and so forth. That's pretty much what I've been working on.
So you didn't pre-shape them into lapidary shapes where you're gonna.
No. I'll probably do that. Do some of that to some of them later when I put them on the flat lap, but just for the tumbling, just to see how they turn out by themselves and so forth. So that's pretty much what I've been working on this week, and as well working with some of the local. Locals to the area that are local claim owner to my last location that I posted at Nancy Hanks Gulch, because there's been issues with people littering and trespassing and so forth. So
you're in Spokane, right?
Hmm?
Are you in Spokane area or?
I'm over near Rifle, Colorado.
Oh, okay,
wow.
Okay, I'm getting currently Rockhound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting you two confused.
Don't worry, I get myself confused with his channel sometimes too.
Kurt is all channels actually. So
Yeah,
I've been experimenting with other platforms to try to get my word out there. For giggles, I started TikTok and I posted a couple videos. No big deal, right? Kurt was my first follower. I had another friend of mine that was another follower, and then by the next day, I passed Kurt up on some followers. And by today, last time I checked, I was at 2,800 followers, and I've only
totally cool.
I'll have to double check on the last number, but last time I checked, that one video that I posted had 150,000, 152,000 views.
Wow.
And I was not really expecting that. A lot of people are asking me if it's for sale. I'm getting messages on Instagram if my stuff is for sale, and it's it's not. I mean, at one point I did try to see if a couple people had asked if I'd sell it. I'm like, yeah, this is the price, but I'm glad I kept it because it is a beautiful stone, and it's very hard to come by. And I'm sure we'll probably touch some topics on the glass bead stuff here after a while.
Oh yeah.
But so I've been experimenting with that, and then of course Wednesday's episode. That was actually this is the first week I had a video up a couple days before my set time, because the last several weeks has been uploading by grazing my knuckles at the 11th hour before the next day. It's the first time I think I had my video up and ready to go Sunday, for Wednesday. So I already have my other video ready. Oh, excuse me, bubble in my throat. I have my next video. I have all the stuff ready for next Wednesday's episode, which teaser is going to be cleaning the last of the Missouri crystals that I'm working on for a customer.
Oh, yeah, that'll be awesome.
And then
I can't wait to see it.
And then I think the Wednesday after that, if things go as planned, it'll be some rainbow obsidian for another customer.
Oh, I love that stuff.
I feel like people are getting to know me as the obsidian guy. It's like I polish other stuff too.
Yeah, all over the world, Kyle. How did that happen?
Yeah, really.
So going through like all the different comments, like I'm seeing like different like I think there's some Danish, German, Russian. There was all kinds of languages.
I saw that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It does go to show that like all these different platforms have different reaches, like as far as consumers, basically. Like for Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, it's a lot of it's for people that want the instant gratification of a quick video or a picture, whereas YouTube is more of long
learning,
a marathon.
Yeah, longer forms, and it's interesting because yesterday I put down all the different things I'm on. Twitter's the very last one. It's more of a read.
Yeah,
it's more of a read platform than it is like a picture platform. I have like 5 followers on Twitter.
I have 9. Yeah,
I think
still exists.
Nice. Yeah,
but it is. I've been running an experiment to see like what platforms get like different reactions, and even if I don't get a lot of like followers on like one, it's still getting like that name out there and be like, hey, if you like this picture, there's a video on how I got it to look like that if you are interested in watching the more long form. So everything's an experiment to see how well things do.
On Instagram, we've got about 100 followers on Agate Enchantment, and then we've got another 190 followers on Mom Seajay, and then we've got Twitter. We've only got 3.
Better than 0.
TikTok, we have about 90 followers so far, but we've only got 1 video up, and I need to start pushing that too. So
it's been interesting because like I think Kurt and I have a very friendly I wouldn't say competition. It's like I guess it is a kind of a friendly competition.
It's competition.
Like it's the best kind because like I'm always checking on his and like he's always checking on mine. So and I think we've secretly been in that race since since I started YouTube and started getting out there. And for a while we were like neck and neck. And then all of a sudden like Kurt's like, okay, I don't want to be neck and neck anymore. Bye. It can be like a little controversial and like being competitive, but if it's like a friendly competition and like there's like no hard feelings and like everyone's just like having fun with it, then that's fine. But if people start like throwing names or stuff, and then it starts being an issue, or like downgrading like the other channel. But I think we're all pretty down to earth, and we're all very supportive of each other, and that makes a huge difference. I think I already covered some projects that in my week that I'm working on. So what projects is everyone else working on?
Ooh, good project.
You want to go?
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of folks have watched the Kershaw knife one, right? And seen that
good video.
That was awesome.
And that was really fun. But now what it's done is it's made me crazy on knives. I mean, I've always really liked knives, but now I'm crazy on them. So the next project is this big bad boy right here. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that or not. That one, and it's called an river, and it's got some scrolling on it. But this cherry wood I really don't like. Now, it's kind of pretty, and from a distance it looks okay. I don't know if you can see it, but it's pretty cool. It looks all right. All in all. But what it's going to get is these guys right here.
Bigs.
Nice.
Old stock
Bigs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That'll be beautiful.
So that'll be fun. Once those are all polished up, then it'll actually look like wood, even though it's not. It's one of the smoothest knives. It's so smooth. And this one, I don't have to take the mechanism apart to do it. Oh, thank God. One thing I am going to do is I'm going to put an opal in it.
Well, speaking of opal, my
Uh-huh.
project is going to be a mossy heart
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
and then it's going to have a little teardrop opal. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes.
It's really hard to
tiny.
see.
Yeah.
But it's going to go right at the base of the heart.
And one of the most
Nice.
exciting things about this project for her is that she's doing this for this huge
She is a
awesome freaking Twitch
she's a Twitch game streamer,
influencer,
and
you know.
she has been following my son's channel, Twitch channel, and she was like, "Okay, Cameron, you just lost your mom. She's coming. She's going to become my mom." And so I started watching her Twitch channel, and she was like, "Okay, Mom's in the house. Mom, what kind of food do you like? I'm going to do a simulation of cooking."
Nice.
And every time I come in, she's like, "Hey, Mom's in the house. Everybody say hi to Mom."
And she's actually becoming quite popular.
Yeah, she
people
is.
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds
Yeah.
of people recognize Mom Seajay.
Well, be sure to send me a close-up picture of what you're working on. I can actually edit.
Okay.
So send it to me right after this podcast,
Okay.
and I can
You
actually
got
edit that in.
Okay.
Nice. Who else is working on something cool? Anybody?
Well, I just finished that video that I posted last night of the little amethyst cluster that I found back in October. We're doing a little collab with Ozone, so I sent it to her earlier today, and can't wait to see what she makes with it. So
Very
it's
cool.
beautiful too. Wow. Like, and I love how you were talking about how you wanted to let the light into the stone, and you were showing me which way you wanted it. Like, that's such great information. Like, a lot of people, when they want to try a commission or something like that, they don't know how to articulate, like, I have this thing in my head, but I want you to be a mind reader, and you're just gonna know what to do. And I loved all the things that you said about the stone. It was like, yep, I got this. And so, yeah, I can't wait. That'll be really fun. What about you, Kyle? You got something on the burner?
Oh, I think I told you guys some of the stuff I was working on for the next couple of
Okay.
weeks. Yeah, I'm also trying to think. I'm trying to take things a little bit slow right now because I did put a lot of work in the Maker's Challenge, so I'm just spending right now getting customer projects off my bench and trying to make videos as I'm going. I'm gonna try to experiment more with. I think some of you have seen my jury rigged over the view or over workspace camera thing that I did, and it worked for what I needed for what I wanted it to do, but it's not gonna be good for a long term. Like, I need to eventually actually invest in something that's gonna be very sturdy and very stable, because every time I need to switch back to what I need, my normal setup, I have to undo all the screws, undo all the bolts, undo all the bungee cords, and it looks worse than what it is, because after I posted that video, I had to add more bungee cords. I had to add like a bucket of rock at the bottom to weigh it down.
I thought that was so brilliant, though. I was like,
It
yes,
works.
I'm going to do that. I've got a cymbal stand that's broken that I'm going to totally, rig into being one of, like, Kyle's magic
It did
camera
work.
stands. Yeah,
It did very much work for that video, but I think long term I need to save up and actually get something that's going to last, that's meant for that job. But
We actually, sorry.
Go ahead.
We actually are using one of his old
mic stands with a boom
stands.
mic, for boom mics. Yeah, and I turned it into a camera mount for above our high-tech diamond. and then attached a little extra accent light.
Yeah. And
it's actually a pretty good system. It works really good because you can adjust it up and down.
As long as it works, that's all that matters.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
And it's reasonably stable.
that was the reason why I kind of giggled, because we went through bungee cords and bungee cords and
All
bungee
kinds
cords.
of stuff.
Oh,
yeah.
and some of the words.
All right. Well, are we ready for some questions for the guest pair?
Yeah, who wants
Sound
to
good?
Okay.
who wants to get it rolling?
I'll get it rolling. What's your funniest rock hounding experience or memory, you guys?
The first time I licked a rock in front of him.
How did that go?
Oh, boy. Yeah. I thought she was an alien. I swear to God.
I picked it up and I went,
And to this day, she still licks
And
rocks, and I keep telling her, don't lick the rock.
I basically picked it up out of the ground, blew on it,
Literally.
and
There was
wiped it and
dust
went,
and dirt
okay.
and
And he went, ah.
But she goes, but look, it's pretty.
And he sat there and he goes, I don't want to kiss you.
Okay, yeah. Almost done with that for the day.
That's the funniest.
And yet you guys are still together, so it works out.
Yeah, but I don't lick rocks, okay?
Okay.
I know other people do, and you're okay with that, but, you know.
I will say that I don't lick rocks and I don't spit on rocks. Like if I have to, if I'm out in the field, if I'm sweating, I'll just do this with the back of my
There you
hand.
go.
I've done that before.
My man.
But there's been times I've gone to a rock shop and like there's a part in some rock shops you go back there and it smells like spit, and it's like the other rock hounds have been back there and they like either spit on it or they just like
Nasty.
Okay, that is one area I do not lick the rocks. You do not go into a store and lick the rocks.
That's good. We know
That's
you've got
very
like
good.
some borders.
Limits.
there.
No, it's got to be out in a river or in the dirt, or then it's safe.
No, don't lick rocks.
Nice. Does anybody else have a funniest memory? Denny, anybody?
Well, we were actually playing some of our blooper file while we were waiting for you all to come together. And oh my, I don't think it would be rated PG
No.
anymore.
Gotcha. Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure about
Maybe
that.
when we do like the
There'd be a lot of
R-rated
bleep,
podcast.
Remember this knife?
Yeah, there was
A lot of them came out of that.
Right on.
That's okay. I'm still saving my my glass butte pooping story for down the road.
Oh boy!
We haven't even heard the whole thing, huh?
Nope.
No.
It's like a poop hanger.
Yeah. It's a little dingleberry of a story.
Wow, I did that.
We're not getting into
Oh
Klingons, are we?
boy!
No,
Are there children watching this?
I know.
Hey, there's no swearing, so like
It's safe. Yeah. It's just imagery. It's imagination.
And every middle school kid that I've ever drove, there's two things that make him giggle, and that's anybody saying the word poop or farting.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Does anybody have a question then?
With an unlimited budget, and you can go anywhere in the world, where would you go rock hounding? And it would have to be on planet Earth.
Yeah, she'd lick rocks on Mars too. I'm sure.
Well, of course. Actually, the area that I want to explore is the center of Jupiter. It's supposed to be a diamond the size of Earth. Actually, if it has to be on the planet Earth, it would be Cooper Petty. And that's because my grandfather actually dug there, and this is one of the stones. I don't know if you can see it.
You can always send me a picture.
He
Mr.
actually,
Editor over here.
he actually dug this opal out of Cooper Petty in Australia, and he created this for himself, and then he created a opal necklace for my grandmother, and it has 35 carats of Cougar Petty opal, top
Wow.
grade Cougar Petty opal.
Wow.
And unfortunately, I was not the child that Grandma loved the most, so I didn't get it.
You got the earring. You got the
Herkimer
earring.
Diamond, man. I'd like to go up there and check out the Herkimer Diamond mines up there in New York. That would be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dig all day.
I think
We were-
technically Kurt's closest.
We were actually
A little.
we were actually in New York State.
Yeah. we did a video out of it.
Unfortunately, the mines were shut down because it was right in the middle of the COVID lockdown, so we weren't able to
Oh,
go.
no.
All right, so Kurt, what is your question?
My question was, what? Hold on. What was my question? What gave y'all the idea to make, or why did y'all name y'all's channel Agate Enchantment and Rock Wizardry? Because it's a very unique and really cool name.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It started out, she came up with the word enchantment.
Yes.
And of course, it had to have agate
Yes.
because we're
Mhm.
agate hounds as well as rock hounds. I'm a big agate hound. I love agates. And then I came up with rock wizardry. However, we argued, and we really did. We argued over this. And then, see, I got TubeBuddy on my side. Are you guys TubeBuddy? You like TubeBuddy? I love TubeBuddy.
I have not used it. I'm actually a pretty cheap person, and I have a hard time.
It works pretty good for finding keyword phrases that
Yeah.
people search a lot. So I'm just saying.
It is
And
worth it.
so one of the biggest search terms that people look for is agate.
Yeah.
It's
Good to
huge.
know. Agate, fire, obsidian. I got
Thank
it.
you for that.
And then the other one would be rock.
Agate, rock, fire, obsidian. Got it.
We tried to do
And rock
but
hound.
actually it's rocks,
Rocks.
not rock, because rock is associated with music.
Right.
So long story short, we I said I got TubeBuddy on my side, and I said, okay, we'll put them together, and it was like, wow.
It worked.
And then so I had this really killer. I have this blessed piece of rainbow onyx, and that's our logo. And I actually got that at Rice Museum at a garage sale. It's amazing, and I don't even want to polish it. It's one of you guys have all got one of those rocks. It's just too precious to polish. If you screwed it up, if it broke, if it cracked, you'd cry, right? So that's where our logo and our name came from.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome. I love it, story.
A lot better than redneck rock hounds.
Yeah. That was our.
Although it's a little bit of a
I
tongue
don't know.
twister, I have to say. Like I can't.
Oh yeah.
And wizardry, yes.
We want to share some love. Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
we love each other, and we want to
Yes.
share love with the people that watch. And
definitely
we get
love rocks.
like you guys. I'm sure every single one of you guys gets amazing comments. But dude, I have thousands of, because we've been at this 4 years now.
Almost 5.
Almost 5 years.
Mhm.
So the comments that we get are heart wrenching,
Yeah.
dripping with love and good stuff. And we're not a huge channel. We're okay. We're doing all right, but we're not a huge channel. But that's not what it's about for us. What it's about is touching people's lives, and every day we know that we do, because we hear from them every day. The comments. Thank you. So, we had one this morning. Okay, this is fun. This is just a fun one, right? One from this Raphael. Remember?
Yes.
Raphael.
Yes.
Hi, Raphael. He says, oh, thank you so much. He's watching our one of our very first Rock Hounding tips, tricks, and secrets, which, by the way, is more than 100K views now. And yeah, a little commercial, right? Okay, so but he comes in with this he says, me and my mom went on a bicycle ride, and for the first time I'm finding agates and cool rocks. Thank you so much. We love you. We love you and your channel.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. It's like bam.
We had a little 13-year-old get in contact with us from Israel.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he
wow.
said,
Man, we could
I
tell
don't
you
know
the
what this
stories.
is. Can you tell me what it is? And it was a very blurry, bad lit photo. I couldn't tell what it was. And I said, well, this is how you take pictures. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to get together a box of rocks and I'm going to send it to you.
And he's probably watching, so
Yes.
you should get him in the camera, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I sent it. Unfortunately, I found out that there's a tax in
Mhm.
country,
Yeah.
and he had to pay $153 for
Way.
that
Wow.
$37 box of rocks that I
No,
sent him.
it's true, and it sucks.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, Israel hit him hard.
But there
Really
is
hit
no
him.
way to get anything in the country without paying that tax.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, long and short of it,
Yeah.
that's why we do it.
Mhm.
We got this really cool little letter from this little 7-year-old
His
boy.
his favorite
Yeah.
colors are green and orange,
Yeah.
and he likes the shiny rocks.
And we're putting together a little bag to send him. You
Yes.
know, I mean, we just love it.
Yeah.
And we love to give it
Mhm.
away. I mean, that's our mission with YouTube. It's to give it away for heart. Yeah, sure, we like to gain views and stuff, but we're really trying hard not to. And that was the thing about the Makers Challenge, is I felt like the word challenge said,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's a competition," and we're not really in competition. We don't want to be in. We just want to share our love of rocks and agates and the beauty of geology and
Mhm.
all of the wonders that we find, even if it's on a street corner in a parking lot and you find a agate. You know, I mean,
Mhm.
you know, little adventures with
Mhm.
other folks. That's what
Exactly.
we're about.
And that was the
Yeah,
best part about that Makers Challenge is, it wasn't a competition. Everyone did. I
It
think
was
literally
great.
everyone did something different.
Yeah.
Yours
Yeah.
was awesome, by
Oh
the
my
way.
God, I love that
we,
pooping
did,
gnome.
we didn't get a chance to. I mean, we both left messages, but
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Oh,
we
that
just
was-
loved that one.
I died.
That was great,
But
man.
how complicated it was. I mean, you made it look simple, and I
Yeah, you
know it
did.
wasn't.
It wasn't. It was naughty. But if you look closely in my last video, you'll see a picture of the Little Mermaid from Denmark in the background.
Uh-huh.
That's going to be a teaser for a future
Oh.
project once I get all my customer orders done.
Uh-huh.
And that's going to be a little.
Nice.
It's going to be a little. I guess not memoir, but like a reminder of my great grandmother, because she was from
Mhm.
Denmark.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wonderful.
And so
Yeah.
that's going to be a teaser to a future project. And now I've done a little bit of Antarctica with the gnome, I want to try something similar with the Little Mermaid.
So that might be an
Whoa.
heirloom.
Maybe. If depending on how complicated it is, I might do two and give one to my grandmother. I don't know if she's even going to watch this, so I'm not going to worry about spoiling it. But I'll give one to her so she can remember her mom by, and then I can have the other one for myself.
And then you can maybe super small size it for a necklace around your daughter's neck.
I'm not that talented yet.
By then you will be.
I think "yet" is an operative word. Yeah, you're pretty darn.
I mean, the whole. I mean, I feel like it's apart from it being a fun for everyone. Like I felt like part of the Make a Challenge was to challenge myself and doing something that I did not know how to do
Yeah,
previously.
Exactly.
same
I mean,
here.
Yeah, that knife, like I know just from normal spring assist knives, like you have to be careful with the glue so it doesn't get in there and gunk everything up.
Right.
The fact that you went through there and made a spot for the spring and everything else, you took it one step above. Like, good job.
Wow. Thanks, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
I shot about 123 hours of video on that.
Mhm.
And it came out to about a 30-minute video. You can imagine the
Oh, no, I get it.
editing.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
And you can imagine living in this house for that 2.5 months.
Oh, come on.
Did your swear jar fill up at all?
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
My lips are sealed. Shut up, CJ.
We're talking overflowing here.
Yeah. It was very challenging. It was. I'm not gonna say it wasn't.
Yeah,
challenging.
it was definitely a challenge.
But you
It's
guys,
also seriously fulfilling to be able to know in the real world that it exists and that it's something unique. You know, it's
There's
just
no
unique.
nothing.
There's
Nobody
nothing
else
like
has
it
one.
on the planet.
Yeah.
Just like your little gnome, man. There's nothing like it on the planet. Man.
Yeah.
yep. Nobody else has a pooping gnome made of stone. But yeah, I guess going past that, we can go ahead and go on to the last question, which will be for me. What got you into lapidary?
Are we talking lapidary as far as creations, or are we talking lapidary as far as rock hounding?
Lapidary, as
Yeah,
far
that's-
as creations, sanding, polishing, making stuff out of rock, and so the more artsy side of things.
It started with tumbling. I mean, I think for everybody, it starts with tumbling. It's well, okay, maybe not CJ, but for me, it started with tumbling. You know, to see them transform over 5 or 6 weeks to into something that you picked up off the ground to something that is just, oh my god, that's beautiful. And then people like going gaga over it, and so, but tumbling is limiting because even if you're a good cutter, because then that leads you to being a good cutter, then you got to cut the rock before you put it in the tumble to shape it, and then when it's polished, then you have a heart, or you have a cabochon, or you have whatever. I personally like the shapes in rocks naturally, and I try and keep them naturally. So when you watch my polishing videos, you'll see these unusual shapes, like the nodule I did. It's kind of almost like a pyramid shape, because I like to try and keep as much as the original rock as I can, and use what Mother Nature's already done and just kind of enhance it a little. Where CJ, she's more, she'll tell you. So it progressed into that, and then the high tech and all that stuff.
Actually, my journey started up in Alaska. A young gentleman of my acquaintance brought me a record keeper crystal, and his grandmother had got it from her mother, and when she passed, he got the record keeper, and her mother had put her initials, had carved her initials in very crudely, but carved her initials in. And then his grandmother put her initials in. And then he actually wanted me to create a heart with all of their initials in that side, in the heart inside that side of the crystal. And I was like, uh, yeah, uh, I think I can do that. And so I found a crystal that was just a crystal for me. And I practiced and I broke it and I cried. And I threw that one away and I got another one. I went out and bought a box of crystals that I could practice on getting that heart done. And finally, I had enough belief in myself and I created it. And then wire wrapped it and gave it to him. And he was like, oh, this is beyond what I could imagine. And the joy on his face, that got me on my lapidary journey.
That's the thing, when you all know this, you've all done a project for somebody, right? That
Yeah.
just turns out, and you see that look in their eyes. And yeah, they may pay you for it, and that's nice, but
Yeah.
that's not why we do it.
No.
It's just not. It's the changing, the transformation of somebody seeing it and falling instantly in love with it.
Yeah.
And it just brightens their day and their smile, and that's why we do it.
Yeah.
That's why we do take it to the next level. That's That's why we don't just go out and find rocks. We turn them into treasures.
Yeah.
And they're already treasures, but we turn them into polished treasures.
We turn them into heirlooms.
Yeah. One of a kind, unique.
Mm-hmm.
You guys all know this, you know?
Yeah. No, I totally get it. That there's been times where I've done projects, and my favorite part towards the end of things was to make sure that I give it to them personally,
Yes.
Yeah.
so I can see their reactions.
Mm-hmm.
I can read their body language and make sure that they actually do like what I did for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a feeling that's really hard to describe. But it does keep you going and keeps you wanting to do more projects for other people, and
Yes.
It does. Yeah.
it's just an overall nice feeling.
Because I don't know about you guys, we don't make a whole lot of money from our rock hounding habit.
I used to make
there's a lot of heart in it.
I used to make some money. That it self-funded itself after a while when I volunteered at the rock shop here in Corvallis. I had stuff out for sale, and that funded stuff for material and other stuff, and plus I did classes. So when I bought more material and equipment, like I didn't have to put any of my own money back into it. Like I started off with some
Right.
stuff, and then eventually it started paying for itself. But as of right now, it's coming out of my own pocket.
I hear ya.
Yeah.
I hear ya.
COVID has not.
We just developed we actually have a corporation now.
Yeah.
Agate Enchantment is a corporation.
Yeah.
And it
and
it barely funds itself.
almost
honestly.
$2,000 later, we're going to be,
Almost flush.
and that's with all the projects that we've sold in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So.
Now, yeah, even get something trademarked as far as like name and logos, like that's an expensive process. Like last year, I spent so much money on getting that, the Oregon Rockhound stuff trademarked and
Exactly.
getting the image and name protected. And I got a website started, and I let the website expire because like I don't use it. But I still keep the trademark for the name and stuff because I have decals and stuff like that for the group.
Oh
but,
yeah.
But yeah, COVID's been rough.
It has been.
Everybody.
There's been a couple of times that I have had orders and they've had to back out because of financial problems and things going on in their lives, and they said, I just can't afford it. And usually I'll end up just giving them the project because it was made for them.
Yeah. Love offering stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it, sometimes.
You just gotta bring happiness to dark times.
Nice.
Yeah, and sometimes whenever like when you work on a project for that specific person, even though if they are going through such a hard time, and then they contact you and say they're sorry and so forth, and then you still give it to them, it just helps them on another level that they can't express. And I completely understand that.
Hopefully not too many of those, but we've done our share for sure.
Yeah,
then we just give rocks away. We give agates away and rocks away. People, it's a funny thing about, and you guys probably have all experienced this, and I don't want to get all like ethereal and spiritual, but there is a spiritual element to this. And I don't know about you, when the first rock, and I'm talking to the audience too, the first rock or agate you ever saw that you just were attracted to it. I don't want to put any labels on it, but it attracted, you were attracted to it. And I know my first one was a rose quartz, and to this day I still have that rose quartz, and it means healing to me. And I'm not going to get all ethereal, but that's what rocks do, is you look at it and it gets you, it attracts you.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. Like, there's been times when I've gone into rock shops and I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and I buy it, but then it's like there's no connection to it. Like, I just don't feel anything from it. So there's been times where I've taken stuff back, but I do believe that all crystals and so forth have an energy. When I was up in Vermont, I met this geologist out in the river one day rock hunting. He invited me to a shop. He took one of those, lightning globe things or like
Oh, sure.
he took one of those and then built a extra device that he hooked up to it, where it's like a little platform that you can set a crystal on, and the different crystals that you would put on there, it would light up. The more it would light up, it was kind of like a way of showing the energy of within the crystal, which was super cool. And I want to build one, but I haven't been able to talk him into giving me the specs.
Do you have anything special that you do before you go rock hounding?
When I go to the coast, I usually will bring a little bit of sage, a little bit of leaf, and a couple of sticks, and I'll kind of tie them together. And I usually will find a little agate, and I'll toss it in the surf and say thank you for the gifts that I'm about to receive. And then it's like I start rock hounding, and I discover these amazing treasures. And then somebody will come up and say, well, what are you looking for? Well, it's this kind of stuff. And, it'll only be an agate about like this big. And then you hand it to them. And they're like, wait, no, really? You're giving this to me?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, they go away happy. And then I turn around and Mama Nature will give me one like this. And I'm like, yes, I'm very happy.
Good stuff.
And usually I'll take a cigarette and
They sing to
tear apart.
her.
Yes.
Agate sing. Okay, I know you're going to think she's strange. She's not. I've known this woman now for a long time. And at first I thought she was a little batty, okay? For real, I did. But they really do sing to her. Okay? This girl is the agate queen. I'll put her up against anybody in any field, anywhere.
It isn't that they sing.
They sing. She's like,
no, they have a tone. They do
a rhythm.
No,
Yeah.
it's a sound.
Wavelength.
It's
Resignation or no?
okay. It's like this. Quartz has a high
Frequency.
crystal ting,
Yes.
ting, ting. Whereas Jasper has a tong, tong. Gold has a pom, pom, pom. Petrified wood is kind of almost like a rippling sound. I know it sounds crazy, but that's what I hear.
That's awesome.
Somebody once told me that I suffer from synesthesis. I don't even. It's where your senses, like some people taste color, and the senses.
I know what you
experience it
mean.
differently.
Hear visions and stuff like that. Yeah.
Rocks have sound to me, and I was like, okay, whatever you want to call it. It's been with me all my life. And my grandpa always told me, listen to the rocks because they'll never lie to you. And they never have.
The other thing, we share this and we talk about this all the time together, is, and I'm telling the new rockhounds out there, the ones maybe that are rock or the medium rockhounds, only been around a while, they're still getting the challenge. The more grateful you are for each and every score or treasure or rock or agate, whatever you want to call it, the more grateful you are to nature. Instead of thinking, well, I didn't find this or I couldn't find, be grateful for what you did. And they come.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Nature does give the grateful ones when you take greed out of it.
Bags every week. We got more rocks than we know what to do with. We got more agate. We got bags.
We only
give
have
them away for the next.
We only have about 3.5 tons of rock in our house.
Yeah, kind of taking over our second bedroom.
Yeah,
it's like our storage.
Yeah, and we don't have a front room. We have a rock storage room.
Yeah, we got a lot of rock.
Yeah,
nice.
We love rocks.
So I know that Karen wanted to bring up a topic, but I don't know if we have enough time for it or not.
I can be really brief.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we can probably spare like at least 10 more minutes towards it if you wanted to.
Yeah. I'll just bring it up and y'all can run around with it. But I noticed some banter over the interwebs this last week, and it was about seasonal rock hounding. And what the message was that certain rock hounding places are on the precipice of possibly getting closed.
Mhm.
Why? Because we might be encroaching on some of these places a little bit early, while there's still snow melt, while there's still like maybe some spring rain, running them out. And the easiest thing for BLM and ODOT to do is just to close them. And some of these places are possibly, on the slate to close permanently, just because it would be easier, because there's not a lot of money being flowed out that way for obvious reasons. We got the COVID and all that kind of stuff going on. And so, being as that we are the stewards of the land, it would behoove us to make sure that we checked conditions before we went out, and didn't even go to these places until they were dried out and ready to go and safe for not just one vehicle, because you're not the only guy. That's the thing. I had actually wanted to go rock hounding this weekend to a place that could be precarious, and I totally canceled my plans. And so, what are your guys' thoughts on this?
I agree, because that can it can ruin it for everyone.
Exactly.
I know that Glass Butte has been a huge controversy, not just for seasonal rock hounds, but for a bunch of other stuff right now. And I try to stay out of it because there's so much going on, and I'm not gonna get into the depths of it because it will take up too much time. But there's a lot of drama out there, and I just try to stay out of it. And I think people that go up too early and they ruin it for everyone else, it's just going to make things worse. I think probably the unpopular opinion would be just to close down those areas during the winter seasons. Just gate it off, wait till better weather, and then open the gates up again so people don't ruin it for everyone else, and have it closed permanently. That's just my opinion.
The other thing is also when you go out to these places, don't if there's a certain amount you're allowed to take, don't over collect, because it can ruin the landscape and just ruin it for everyone else. I was talking to Jody with This Rocks, and she was saying there was a place that she went a week or two ago where she was collecting obsidian, but the mines were closed because people went in there and just hauled out huge amounts of obsidian and closed the mines.
Davis Creek.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. And then on one of the Colorado rock hounding groups, I saw someone was posting about this location where you used to go and be able to find I think it was melon or basketball sized garnets, but the state closed it down because people came in and they took way more than they were supposed to. And it just ruins it for everyone else to go out there, and it's not just experiencing rock hounding, but going out there and just experiencing the hunt and nature and just
also pick up your trash. Good dog. I mean,
definitely.
Jeez.
That's usually Kurt's words of encouragement.
It's amazing how slobs some people are.
I don't. And I'm sure it's not the Rockhounds, because Rockhounds don't carry mattresses and washing machines with them. But if we let the proper authorities know that while we were rock hounding in this area, we found this, and we didn't have the vehicle to get it out, at least they know it's there and they're able to go in and get it. Another thing, a subject that's really close to my heart, is filling your holes.
Yep.
Don't destroy the landscape.
That's one of the precarious things about Glass Butte right now as well. Kyle outed my, I was being a little bit surreptitious about wording it, because it's a rumor right now more than something totally vetted, because other people have been talking to the BLM and stuff. But as you're saying, CJ, people not filling their holes are creating an erosion situation on the hillsides of the Glass Buttes. And I'm sure that you're talking about other very fragile places.
I'm actually talking about Hanson Creek, Crystal Mountain, Quartz Point, Montana. There's also a couple places in Colorado that, last I heard, they were on the chopping block for because of the huge holes that are being left, and one of the holes actually trapped 2 deer in it. That's how deep it was.
Wow.
It filled with mud, and 2 deer got trapped in the hole.
I didn't hear about that.
It was up on Crystal Point or Quartz Point in Montana, and they had dug such a deep hole that these deer got caught in and they died. And of course, that creates another health hazard, because the deer died, and nobody wants to go into a pit and get that out. Believe me, you don't want to do that. So in order to protect our areas to go rock hounding, we need to protect the land that we rock hound on. And that means, not, like Kurt said, not being greedy. Like Karen and Kyle said, backfill your holes. Be careful. Be guardians of
Pick up your
the
trash,
land.
too.
Yes.
Pick it up. If you bring in a beer can, take it out.
Well, it comes back down to that the National Forestry
rules and regs.
No, it's a slogan. Leave no trace. Pack in,
exactly.
pack it in, pack it out. Even if it's not yours, pack it out. You know,
we often do that.
I have gone to creeks where I have brought back
We always
2.
bring extra big bags.
Yeah, I brought 2 garbage bags out with a half of a gallon bag of rocks. But hauling, looking like Santa Claus, I got a double bag of garbage on my back. But it's what's needed is necessary, because people are gross.
Let's get the government aware, and those people that complain about us aware that there are those of us that care.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead, CJ.
A couple of years ago, Kate Elizabeth Ivy did something like that down at Carnelian Creek, down near Eugene. And
Carnelian Creek or Zinc Creek?
Zinc Creek, I'm sorry. It's a place where a lot of carnelians have been found. But Zinc Creek is what it was. But unfortunately, right after she went in and they filled in holes, and I mean, they filled in monster holes, and they leveled out the road and everything, Zinc Creek still got closed.
Yeah, it can happen that way, but I think that the bottom line is, if you have a claim, then you know that you're supposed to do upkeep on your claim. That's part of the deal of getting the claim. So if we all imagine ourselves as claim owners, which we are, we're allowed on government land, which is our land, but it's BLM, it's been managed. So if we're all claim owners to these places, then why don't we do the upkeep? A lot of us aren't doing that. And I'm not pointing fingers or shaming anybody, it's like just a call to action. Like, let's do that. It's an awesome idea. I love it.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's something that we ought to get a lot more Rockhound and YouTube influencers together and start promoting it, and get them to where, hey, it's, what's the word? I lost the word. Call it like rock hounding guardianship, or something like that, and kind of like the Maker's Challenge. Challenging them, get these people together and do this, and have a month-long video contest.
Hey, Kyle, I think that those are my words of encouragement. Like,
that works for me.
Yep. That's a strong point to kind of end with, as far as I'm concerned.
No, yeah, I agree. Since we're on kind of words of encouragement, and that kind of falls in with all that, I mean, I know what Kurt's going to say, but Kurt, you say it anyway.
No.
Oh, he's not.
I'm gonna say something different.
Oh,
It goes with what y'all were talking about, though. Y'all want to go ahead and hear it?
do it.
Yeah.
Pretty much. If you're going out in nature and rock hounding or just hiking, and you see a no trespassing sign, please obey it. Don't go over the line, even if it's just a foot, because you see a pretty rock. Don't go over. You don't know if there's trail cameras, and just it's not worth it for you. And also, don't steal, and do not steal rocks from claims.
No.
There's cameras everywhere anymore. So.
Yeah. Oh,
And
I know.
even if you're walking down the street and you see somebody has done, a rock garden,
Yeah.
ask permission.
Yes.
Don't go
Most
over it.
times they'll say, "Okay, go look."
Yeah.
Ask permission.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't just assume.
That's another thing I always tell everybody, if you're gonna urban hound, go ask. Because they think
We
you're
do it
strange.
all the time. You can go ask
They
store
may think
managers if
you're
we can
out
go
of
look
it.
at the rocks, and we found some pretty cool scores. And they're like,
Yeah.
"You want to look at the rocks?
Yeah,
Okay,
whatever. Yeah, just don't show our customers.
Was that a pet peeve of yours, Kyle?
There's a reason why my rocks are in my backyard, and I have some river rock out front. But since I got the boulder out there, I had to rope everything off because people are walking through it, and
Oh no!
That's horrible.
I'm very much a hermit. When I'm home, I don't want people on my lawn. I don't want people going through my lawn. I'm a very cranky old man that way. if I am in my office, or if I'm in my garage and I look up at my cameras and I'm seeing someone going, "Oh, I'm gonna cut through your yard," guess what? I'm gonna be meeting you outside. Like, hello, what are you doing? But
Exactly.
That's why we always say ask permission.
Yeah.
I just don't want people cutting through my yard. I don't even let
I don't blame you.
I don't even let our mailman do that. I think it was a soggy winter and see where they're cutting through because they're making a path through our yard. I'm like, please stop.
Yeah.
I've asked them like 5 times. I'm like, last time.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, people just need to not.
I had a sign on my lawn that said, "You may ogle my rocks, do not touch them."
Ogle only. All right.
Encouragement.
Also, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kurt.
I was just gonna say, also, if Jared was currently rock hounding, touched on this on one of his videos, but if you are going off of a rock hounding book and it says specific locations to go to, always double check that, just because some books are outdated, locations are outdated,
A lot of
and
them.
they will give you
And outlawed.
Yes.
what?
And
Some of them are outlawed. Like,
Yeah,
you're not even allowed to go there anymore.
Yeah, and
Because somebody wrote it up in a book.
yeah. But just if you're going to a location in a book, always double check it. Make sure that that location is still publicly accessible, and don't just go up from the book, because I know from experience as well that if you just go do that, it's very likely you could get in trouble with the owner of the property, or maybe they'll be cool about it and let you off, but still just always double check where you're going.
Yeah, well, you don't want to do the no trespassing sign on Weyerhaeuser land. Well, can I do one last word of encouragement?
No, you guys are next.
Get out there, get rocking, and
Find your treasure today.
You guys are such a synergistic couple. You guys work so well together. It's such a pleasure watching you guys
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
chatting with you. And really, it was an enormous pleasure to be with you on the beach.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was
And be sure
incredible.
and check out our videos
Yes.
coming on Sunday
Yes.
at 9 a.m. starting. When's yours, Karen?
9:15 right after your guys.
There we go.
Come and
Yes.
chat with us.
Full header.
Yes.
Well, I guess my words of encouragement will have to kind of coincide with everyone else's, is protect this hobby for the future generations.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, there's gonna be no rock hounding for anyone, and we're gonna be the only ones left, and we're gonna be stuck with what we have.
The guardians
Yeah.
And then our niche online would basically start
die.
dying off, and we'll be
Dinosaurs.
Yeah, more or less. Well, we would petrify.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, you know the funny. Okay, so this is like a parting shot from Denny, right? The funny thing about that, to take this off like a totally kind of, a warning and fearful kind of thing, to put a positive spin on this, we've been at this going on almost 5 years, right? And what we have seen in that 5 years in the Rock County community and Facebook, and we're huge in Facebook and active, and in YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff, right? Is that there is a resurgence.
Yes.
The young people are, especially now, everybody wants to get out and have an adventure. So that's why we say get out there, and find your treasure today, right? Yeah. Is because there is a resurgence. Like, lots of YouTubers have said to us, we're like the grandparents of freaking rock hounding. A lot of generations, our younger folks than us have started channels and gone on to Zoom, man. And more power to you, because rock hounding really rocks.
It does.
All the aspects of it.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
Yep.
Well, if anyone else has anything to say, it's now a good time to say it. Anyone?
Any questions, post them in the comments so that
please
we'll answer them next week. Yes.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for having
It was
us
a lot of
on.
fun.
Thank you so much,
It's been
guys.
a blast.
So, with that being said, let's go ahead and end things here. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and we will see you next week. So, rock on.
Rock on.